anyway. I want to call everyone's attention to the beginning of one of today's readings. It's Timothy 1, 12 through 17, but the first part is the part that caught my eye as I was preparing for this session. I'm grateful to Christ Jesus our Lord, who has strengthened me because he judged me faithful and appointed me to his service, even though I was formerly a blasphemer, a persecutor, and a man of violence. The point I'm making is that the call here is not just to be saved, which is a blessing, as we all know, but it's to do something in the meantime to be in God's service. So how do we do that? One of the ways we do that is by serving others, and one of the ways to do that is to volunteer and to personally do acts of kindness or other ways of making a difference in this world to other people in a collective or one by one. So that's what you're talking about today, and thank you for being here, Joe Emily Knox, Dion Mahoney, Shara Toth, and George Toth. And Andy DeLong will talk about fish as we ask questions about it later. So pass the mic as you need to, but could you please talk about Grassroots and then Somos Amigos?
Good morning. The call to service is absolutely rooted in our faith. We are God's hands, eyes, his ears. The love that permeates us has to permeate everything that's outside of us. You can't live your faith without having action take place. The action is the fruit of your faith. And consequently, there's a compelling force, spiritual force within each of us to help those that are in need, to help those that are struggling, to help those that are in pain, to help those hurt by others, to quell violence. All of that is within us as Christians to make this world in the image of God. The work that we do in the outreach community is broad and diverse. And I've been involved with grassroots activities, much more behind the scenes, helping with transport, cooking meals. Every now and then I show up and act as dishwasher because they're short on the staff. I allow others to experience and have the joy of serving those that are in need. When the servers place food on the plates of those hungry people who most likely have little shelter, there's joy on their face. And it is that act of one-on-one for that one moment, that brief moment, that looking in the eye, that connection that makes them human. That's what this is about. We need to make everybody that we encounter outside of our little world welcome. And by doing so, we show the image of Christ. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shara Toth. I'm struggling with some allergies, so sorry if my voice cracks. I am part of Outreach, but I'm also part of many other ministries. And I will talk about Grassroots, but also Somos Amigos. I want to point out that there's many ways to serve, and God will lead you to the ministry that you need to be part of. I'm part of the choir when we sing to people and make their faith deeper. We soothe them when they are hurting. We lift them up in joy and calling them to action. With Lumen Christi, when with our dance we pray and again inspire, soothe, lift up, bring people closer to God and call them to serve. We have many ministries within outreach that reaches close, like LAM, helping the school, like FISH, like CCC, where we have a food bank that people who in need can get what they need. We have the refugee ministry. All of us are one point and another came to this country. And remember those people who lifted us up. And many of those people who we lift up, they turn around and help somebody else. And that's what we have to do every moment of our life. We have to see each other. We have to help each other because that's what God wants us to do. Coming to church is not enough. You are here to learn. You are here to get the message, how can I help others around me? And to find the ways, and it's maybe not just one, but many. And don't be afraid in starting up on the journey on helping and serving, because there will be others who will be surrounding you with your enthusiasm will follow you and carry the weight. We go to Grassroots in Dorsey, and we are seeing a lot of need and a need increasing, but that doesn't stop us. And although it's only about 6, maximum 7 people who can serve at the place, we have 20 people on any given months who are behind the scene, help us to make us successful. You do not have to come to serve, but you can drop off bananas on Sunday. I can't come on Monday, Shara, so how can I help? Drop off granola bars, drop off some sodas, drop off some cookies you baked. You can send some socks, brand new socks, underwear, t-shirts, things which one are gently worn, and we will bring it to them. They also have a food bank. You can drop it off. FISH and CCC. On Sunday, we have a basket at the church. It should be overfilled. If each of us just bring one item, that basket would be overflowing. And that's what we should do. And that's everybody, even when you are very busy with your life, you could do. Just one item each week. Somos Amigos is one of our outreach far away, and I was privileged to be part of it. And what brought me to there is the call out for a young boy who had a heart condition and needed desperately surgery to survive. I was fortunate that I was able to go and serve as part of Somos Amigos crew many times before COVID. And my trips, unfortunately, due to health reasons, stopped, but it did not stop me from serving as part of Somos Amigos and fundraisers, bringing attention to their needs, sending some goods, which one helped the dentistry or the ministry. So, as I said, many which way you can serve, many which way you can help, and it does not have to be every week, every day, but your ears, eyes, and heart, if it's open, you hear God's calling you and answer.
I'm afraid I'm going to read what I wrote because I have so much I wanted to say and the time is limited. But I would like to begin with 2 quotations. One from Dr. Carl Menninger, who was a noted psychiatrist and author, and the other from the Talmud. The first quotation, "Love cures people, the ones who receive love and the ones who give it too." The second quotation, "He who saves one life, it is as if he saves a whole world." I think my personal motivation to service came about from my Catholic school upbringing and education. And after college, I served 3 years in the Peace Corps. So when I retired from working, it didn't take long for Mary Keith, a former parishioner, to convince me to volunteer with Somos Amigos since I speak Spanish, being Puerto Rican. And Somos Amigos, what does it mean? It means we are friends. And I've been going to Naranjito, the little community that we serve in the Dominican Republic, for 15 years now since I retired. And I translate for the doctors who don't speak Spanish. And the patients there, they don't feel like just friends, they also feel like family. They're unique individuals that we care about and encourage as they struggle to stay healthy in a difficult environment. One woman whose dad had just passed away thanked us profusely for the extra years her dad lived because of the heart medication the clinic was able to provide for him. Those with diabetes receive the medications they need to live a healthier life. Pregnant mothers are given vitamins so that their unborn babies will be healthy and the mothers will be healthy. Children get checkups and dental care. We also offer health education and counseling as a part of every visit. We see them. We let them know that they matter. We care for them one by one, as George said, like family. And as a ripple effect there in the Somos Amigos medical mission, we formed a connection with the one-room schoolhouse across the road from the clinic. And we share snacks with them. We bring them books in Spanish for the kids to enjoy. And we also bring school supplies. Fairfax Elementary School students are partnering with this little country school of grades K through 5, maximum enrollment 15 to 20, and one teacher for all the levels. Her name is Oro, which means gold. I think it's more than appropriate. The need will always be great, but our outreach and personal involvement with each individual provides not only healing and empowerment for the community, but also hope. And I want to conclude with the words of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which sums it all up when it comes to service and how you can contribute and serve. Dr. King tells us, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and your verb agree to serve. You don't have to know about Plato and Aristotle to serve. You don't have to know Einstein's theory of relativity to serve. And you don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics and physics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace and a soul generated by love. Thank you.
I'm Jo Emily Gordon Knox, and I would like to talk about grassroots near Atholton High School. For many of you, you may not know, but when Columbia first started, we did not have a homeless program. And one of our parishioners, Dottie Binkley, was involved in getting grassroots started. I didn't know that until I read her obituary when she died. But she was a nurse, and I don't know any of the details, but she was one of the original founders of Grassroots. So Grassroots is not a county-sponsored organization. It's a privately sponsored organization. I got involved with Grassroots through an organization called the Links Incorporated. Our mission, service, and friendship. And in 2001, that was my first involvement. I was invited into the organization, and you have to do a project, a service project. And we came up, the 5 of us who were invited came up with the idea of doing similar to a backpack with all the needs of a baby when a mother was left home and didn't have anything. So we had all the basic supply for a newborn baby. The organization, our chapter, didn't go forth with the idea because they had been doing some other things. We now, for the last 20 years, we've been giving blankets, hundreds of blankets every year, and socks. We have also provided meals. We've gone and prepared chili at home and served it. So we always ask what they like. And now we do 2 dinners a year, and they like fried fish, and they like fried chicken, and we know a man who will go there and do that. So he goes and he fries the fish right there. And so we pay him to do that, and we add additional items for that meal. The last thing that we are, recently, we started doing bingo. So once a month, we go over and we play bingo with the residents. And they are so excited about bingo. We've said, someone wanted to do something else in our group, and the lady who is the new director said, no, the people do not want to do that. They only want to play bingo. Now we provide, so the catch to it is that we provide $10 gift cards. And so the person who wins bingo gets the gift cards. Well, the excitement of getting the $10 Walmart card is, I cannot tell you how much they appreciate those $10 cards. And I have to tell you about 2 experiences. There was I don't know if he was a teenager, but the mother had 4 children. And so this boy never won. And then one night he won bingo 4 times. Well, he was out of his mind. And he gave a card, he was about to give a card to another person. And his mother said, give me those cards. And the last experience, because we don't do it during the summer, a lady, she just wanted to win. And she won a card, and she jumped up and down, and she ended on the floor. She was so excited. So when you volunteer there, you really go into the facility and do something different. You know, the food, but if you provide an activity, you would not believe what a difference that makes. And the meaning of a $10 gift card is just, it's hard to wrap your mind around it, but that's how much the need is there. So.
It may be a twofold thing. In other words, the need is there, and they certainly want to go to Walmart and spend $10 that they wouldn't otherwise be able to. But the fact that you're there playing bingo and that everyone else is surrounding them when they're winning, it's much more of an emotional experience that speaks to their individual humanity. So it's not just money or a plastic. It's the community. It's the camaraderie. It's the thrill of it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And we also provide snacks. So we have an intermission from bingo, and then we provide them with snacks. Yeah. But we've done other things. We've actually gone in and we've done resume writing with them. I don't know if you know about the closed closet in Savage. Now there are 2 facilities there. One that sells high-end things, and then they pick out the things that they get and they take it to the shop downstairs. And then upstairs, they sell everything for $5. And we, on Martin Luther King birthday, we take clothes and bags and shoes and other items to that clothes closet. And so they sell you can go over and buy things for $5. The reason for that, that helps supports that shop, because they have to pay rent. And so then when people from Grassroots are going for an interview, they take them over there and they provide them with the clothing they need for the interview. But it was interesting with the interviewing, when we did resume writing, you know, many people think that the people at Grassroots, you have some of the most educated people there. There was a guy who's an engineer. It's not just people who do not have education.
Have you heard that expression, but for the grace of God go I? That it's everybody.
Yeah.
And times are hard now.
Yeah, but this was a few years ago. So and the lady who had the children, she was a teacher's aide in Howard County. So you don't have, you know, thinking that all of these people just homeless. Why are they homeless? Because something happened in their lives. Any of us could be at Grassroots. That's what I learned from serving there.
Thank you, Joe Emily. Diane, are you ready to do your online presentation?
I am.
Can you give us a test, an audio test, so I know that everyone can hear you?
1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing.
We hear you. Speak up. I mean,
Okay.
you don't have to talk louder. We hear you. Go for it.
Okay. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person today, but I did want to share a few things. It was wonderful to hear all what everyone else had to say. I am going to talk about 2 programs in particular. And I think the programs that I'm talking about help address the issues that cross almost all of the other programs that we've talked about today, in some form or fashion. And one is that through our spiritual direction, where we've been asked to work toward helping those on the fringes, right? Those that may not be seen or don't always get the attention that others may receive, that leaves them feeling alone. So I'm not gonna be a sort of a dictator of how you should do or carry out your religious practices. But I just know that it's my understanding that it's not about me, but it's about what you can do for others that makes things work for everyone in the Christian faith. So with that being said, the 2 programs I wanted to talk about are programs where we haven't really started to do a lot to support, but I'd like to see more support of them. And those are people with mental and substance use disorders, mental illness and substance use disorders. Actually, these days we're referring to it as behavioral health disorders, because it impacts anybody who has a substance use disorder. It may come out in their behaviors, as well as those with mental illness. It may come out in their behaviors, so it's all together as behavioral health. So one that particularly focuses on substance use is this program called Chrysalis House. It's a place located in Crownsville, Maryland, in Anne Arundel County. And it's a place that houses women in particular who are recovering from substance use disorders. But one other special thing about it is they allows these women to bring their children as well. So they're not, a lot of these women were not able to get treatment before or never felt they could because they didn't want to leave their children. Now they can bring their children someplace, a place where the children will be safe and the mom can get treatment. So it would be lovely if we could find a way to, or that any one of you could help in supporting this organization. They have it on their website site. They focus on these key issues, which are empowerment of the women, therapeutic transportation, access and advocacy, compassion and commitment to them, integrity and inclusion, safety and security, hope and healing. Right now, they're asking for some basic things that they need to help them. A lot of times, when you're in active substance use, you're sort of out there and don't have very many resources. So, right now, they're asking for support with pillows, robes, slippers, and leggings. Um, Okay, so somebody pull it up. Great. So yeah, pillows, robes, slippers, leggings, and those things, if help, if any of us are able to help contribute toward those things, would be absolutely wonderful. They have.
Diane, do you know, do those need to be new or gently used or both?
It appears to be new that they're requesting. There's an Amazon website or Amazon link. It looks like if you go on the website,
It
that
works. I tried it this morning.
yeah, and you go and you click on a particular item, let's say pillows, and then you just buy the pillows and it goes straight to them. I'm That's my understanding. Um, but there is a contact person also on the website you can contact if you feel like that would be helpful if you get into any problems with being able to order things. So that's the main thing about Chrysalis House in terms of helping women who are recovering from substance use disorders. The other program I wanted to talk briefly about is the little abbreviation is NAMI, which is pronounced as NAMI, NAMI, and they are the National Alliance for Mental Illness. And this is a program that provides a lot of support to those suffering with people that are diagnosed with emotional disorders. Those diagnosed with bipolar disorder or schizophrenia or depression or anxiety, the multiple disorders have trouble functioning. And these are a lot of the people that you'll see in the grassroots population, in the homeless shelters, and a lot of the other programs that we've referenced earlier in our program by other speakers. So if we can sort of help them at the at the beginning, right, the grassroots level, then maybe the need for them to be in these other programs wouldn't be as great. This particular month, September, is Suicide Prevention Month. So if we can help to support this organization, they do more to try to bring awareness to those who are not aware or don't. Again, a lot of them tend to be on the fringes, so we need to bring them out of the fringes and get the help they need. There is a telephone shortcut, just like in an emergency for um, um, somatic medical problems, there is a emergency number for crisis situations, and it's 988. That's the number, 988. If you see or interact with someone who you're not sure, even if it's not necessarily a full-blown crisis, when you call that number, um, the person who answers will be able to give you some guidance, some direction about what you should do. Like you're not really quite sure the person is going to hurt themselves or hurt anyone, but you just see that they just seem out of sorts. They just can't get it together. You can call them and they can provide some guidance for you. So 988 is the number. They do have other things like mental health first aid that they recommend educators and a lot of other people um, that have contact with different groups, like such as children in schools and in colleges and whatnot. But that's a whole nother area that I think would be helpful. But I believe you would be able to access classes on mental health first aid through the NAMI program. So those are the two programs I'm focusing on today. I just want to say that this initiative to put more toward these organizations, I think, would be greatly appreciated by the behavioral health community. But not only that, it is again an example of our walk with Jesus Christ.
Thanks, Diane. One thing you didn't mention is that you usually walk in a fundraising, I don't know if it's a 1 mile or whatever, and you're not going to be able to do it this year, but what is the date or the weekend that it's taking place if people want to participate?
I'm sorry, I
The NAMI walk?
Yes. So yes, the NAMI walk is on October 11th. It's Columbus Day weekend. Unfortunately, I'm going to visit Mary Keith in Oregon. So I'll be away with my family. But October 11th is the NAMI walk. In the past, I've actually tried to put together a little Christchurch group for us all to walk together for NAMI. And I was able to get Greg Shuckman. He joined me, and it was a wonderful walk. Maybe in the coming years, we could have more folks join, and we can help to support NAMI by participating in that walk. But if any of you can go on that walk, it would be wonderful. On the website, it shows you clearly. So they have a Howard County chapter, and Howard County chapter is actually just gonna, they will sometimes have a walk locally, just right around in Oakland Mills area. But this year they've decided to do the walk at the Peninsula in Baltimore with the large organization of NAMI Maryland. So NAMI is a big organization across the nation, and then you have the little subdivisions in different areas. So Howard County has its own NAMI division, but they are this year, they're going to participate with NAMI Maryland, which is being held at the Peninsula in Baltimore on October 11th. Last year it was local. So I'm not sure what the future years will be, but I would love it if anybody could join the walk.
Okay, we'll take that to heart. Thank you, Diane. Before we talk about questions or audience comments, whatever, I wanted to give Andy DeLong a chance to talk about fish, because that's one of the ministries that Christ Church has been involved with for quite some time. Go ahead, Andy.
Hi, my name's Andy DeLong. I'm a volunteer for Fish of Howard County. And briefly, what Fish tries to do is we provide telephone volunteers that people in the county can call, and we provide them guidance and information. Sometimes they need food. We can explain to them, how they can get the food, or if they're behind on their BG&E or water bills, we provide them all the ways that they can, or organizations they can call to get help. Fish also does provide some money awards to help with payment of bills and rent and so on and so forth. So the big thing that Fish does is provide a human voice that somebody can call and talk to. rather than going through a website or digging through, lots of information that is available out there, but provide someone that people can talk to, and we provide them with an ear to listen to what they have to say, and also provide guidance on maybe what they can and can't do to help themselves. That's the mission of FISH, to help the people of Howard County. I've been trying to raise awareness of what FISH does and provide some information so that the people of Howard County, the families that need some kind of support now and then, can call and get help from.
Explain what happens to the food that we bring to the altar
Okay,
basket and the bin.
Yeah, so actually FISH started about 50 years ago. And at that time, 50, yeah, in the 70s. And at that time, they providing food to the people of Howard County was also a big portion of their work. But since then, we've realized that there are other organizations like CCC and Grassroots that can provide that service much better than we can. So we started deciding to, instead of sending groceries to families, we'll let the other organizations support that, but we do continue to help gather food. So, we have donations coming in through churches and schools and other areas in the county, and we'll go pick them up and we'll deliver them to CCC or, whatever other organization that there is. There's one organization, it's in Baltimore, My Brother's Keeper, that we also pick up food and provide to.
Thank you.
And did you have something?
LaShawn?
I just want to ask, Andy, does your work, was your work going on when Christ Church had its office? It was, so we were duplicating. Yeah,
Yeah. Although I wasn't that involved with it at that time.
Yeah.
I've kind of grown into what I do now. But yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. There was a time when FISH was much more involved with the helpline that was available through or sponsored by Christ Church, I believe. Yeah. But that was a little bit before my time, and
I'm glad to hear
I just wanted to
that-
bring out that if
that's there.
there's some ideas that somebody wants to propose, I'm very open to that to help our community. And also, if there's any information, like I didn't realize how many of our own members are involved with Grassroots and Somos Amigos. But there's so many people in my own backyard that does a lot of this work, and I'm so very happy to work with you to get information out there to provide to any of our people in our neighborhood, our clients and our neighbors. I'd be happy to to get that information out there as well. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, do you want to say something about the refugee ministry, or Emily's got something?
Now, how does FISH and the food bank, what are the differences?
Andy?
As I understand, the food bank is a place that citizens can go to pick up groceries. FISH was replicating some of that service. Now, what FISH does is we used to actually deliver the groceries right to the people's doorsteps, but for food bank, people have to come there to pick up food. And there's some minor, differences in services, and also CCC also delivers food to people's doorsteps. So, there was a lot of organizations that do that type of thing well, and so instead of replicating all that work, we thought maybe we focus more in on directly talking to the people that are asking for help and help them, and explain to them what all these different services are, where they can get food or they can get help for whatever bills that they need help with, or anything else that maybe we can help with, over the phone. I think just that in itself is I think very helpful to some of the folks out there that they can talk to, and we would listen.
How often do volunteers have to be answering the phone? What's your shift?
Right now, we ask for someone to help once a month, and they would do it from their home. And typically, right now, people that are asking for help would leave a message on our answering machine, and then we would call them back and have them have a talk. But once a month, yeah, from their home.
Ann?
I don't know if anybody has any other questions about any of the things we've heard today.
Well, you want to do that before you say something about the
Well,
refugees?
and we're almost
Oh,
to time.
Yeah, we're running out of time.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one thing is that when they call 988 for the crisis or any other mental health issue, in Howard County, they get grassroots. It goes right to grassroots.
Yeah, because they have the crisis, that's why it's
Yeah.
Grassroots Crisis Intervention Center.
Right,
Good point.
right.
Joe Emily?
Diana, the Crystal House, is that near the old, institution?
Yes, it is. It's right next to Crownsville Hospital Center. Yes,
Okay, it's after you pass the older buildings.
exactly.
Okay.
Hmm.
Eddie?
So I guess my question is, and I can help with this too. We have, since I've been on the vestry, I've been bringing up the fact that our aging population that does most of the work for our church, I believe, is starting to get to a point where, you know, it may not be as easy for them to help even. And again, I'm willing to help, can we work on maybe putting together something that says what we can do that doesn't involve financial burden on a family that might already be struggling to live in Howard County with 2 kids, daycare, school, whatever else. Can we work on putting together a resource for those people that says, this is what we need that happens on the weekend, or that happens after 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, that we can try and see if we can get people to volunteer their time around their busy schedules, so that we can, they can still contribute and they can still help. Because a lot of what we ask for is donations, both monetary and physical donations like pillows and things like that, that we just mentioned, food. But we don't always advertise to our younger church members what is available to them that is more easy for them to use. I think I never would have known that, you know, I could just call people from my house in the evening, return phone calls for your organization. I thought Fish was something where you just gathered food. So I think it's important for us, and maybe this is a vestry project, maybe this is a me project with some of you all, because you all are outreach, that we try and make things a little more accessible based on who we're trying to get to do these things. I think that's important, and I'm definitely willing to work together on an evening to come up with that resource and make it more easily available to people. So.
One thing, for example, there's a,
These are the people to call to see what they could do hands-on.
yeah, for example, and if people are interested in service that's environmental, there's a National Family Tree Planting Day coming up in November, and all you have to do is go to Blandair Park by Oakland Mills High School, and you'll be given all the tools you need to help plant trees, which might be something families want to do.
That'd be fun.
Does anybody online have anything else to say? It's 10:15, so we have to wind up pretty quick.
I was gonna say, as far as the NAMI walk is concerned, that does not require money. It just requires walking and then seeing if you can get people to sponsor your walk. So it's sort of like, you know, so you just ask people to contribute a certain amount of dollar for every, or 10, you know, whatever money for how many just participating in the walk. So it doesn't require the child or anyone else to get money. You just have to walk.
Well, and ask somebody
Um,
else to, like a
Yes, may
cousin
I
or
say something,
somebody.
please?
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to thank all of the presenters for the excellent job that they did today. I know you all personally, and it is wonderful to see how you are spreading God's love in the various ministries that you have. And I would also like to compliment you on the written material. It's very, very informative and very well done. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Pam. Anybody else have anything to say? Oh, go ahead. Mary?
So thank you, everyone, for putting this together. This is very, very detailed and informative. I also do want to say, if this could help, I'm just going to follow or piggyback on what Ed said, that if this could be given to, just put out there at church, because I'm sure that younger folk, too, might be interested in this. When I mean younger folk, I'm not sure the demographics that's just in, it's just shared here so far that I know. But if we could just put this out or make this known to other people in the church, and maybe younger demographic, would be interested in help. Just like he said, I wouldn't even, and like you mentioned, I didn't even know you could just stay at home and take calls. That's very good because you don't have to go out and labor. You're just sitting, and a lot of people are good with that. They'll just sit on the phone and talk all day. So, so, and some people like to do that, so that's helpful too. And that would take burden off of a lot of people that are already doing the work in many other areas. So just a suggestion, not just
We
share.
have a poster being printed that will be delivered next week. It'll be hanging in the narthex with all of that information.
Okay.
And Patricia and I will work on having those resources also on the website. So we're going to spread the word.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, I guess.
Chris.
Oh, somebody else? It's probably time to say goodbye since it's 20 after and it's time for the 10:30 service. Thanks to everybody online as well for attending.
Thank you.
Goodbye.